Hey everybody, Seth Chapman here with Living Large and Tiny Living, and this is going to be a tour of the tiny house, but there's a bit of a problem recording the video. What I did was I had the bright idea to delete some old videos off of my SD card so that I could make some more videos. Well, I ended up deleting the intro to this video before I intended to, before it was copied over to my computer. So needless to say, I'm having to reshoot that video, but the actual video of the tour was taking place last night. So I had the UPS power supply plugged into the tiny house so that I could power the tiny house with that. And so I was trying to conserve some energy, so I only turned on the lights that were most necessary for the video. So it might be a little dark. I haven't got a chance to look at that video yet. But if you'd like to see how I hooked up the UPS, you can check out that video in the description below. I'll have a video link there for that. But I'll go ahead and start up the tiny house tour video. I start at the back and then work my way forward. Okay everyone, here we are in the bathroom. I'll go ahead and start with the shower here. First thing you see in here is the actually ceramic tile. So that's, I believe, a 2x2 on the ground and 1x2 on the walls. In here I've got a shower spa style shower. Went with the 3x5 shower though, just so I would have more room in there and it would feel like a typical house shower instead of a small cramped tiny house shower. But over here I've got a typical IKEA style sink. It is from IKEA, but on the wall here I built a wall and then wrapped it in stainless steel, and if you remove the mirror there, you can have access to all the plumbing for the sink or for the shower, and the sink plumbing also goes down in that wall, so it's all fairly easy to access there. Toilet here is a RV style toilet, and it's got a black water tank underneath and also a gray water tank underneath the shower that is fed by the sink in the kitchen and by the sink here in the shower. But as for the toilet here, I just didn't want to go with composting just for the sake of not having to deal with the composting. I figured for my use I'd probably be hooked up to an RV spot so I could just plug in easily enough. But now on to the kitchen. Alrighty, now we're in the kitchen here, and I'll start with this door. This is a pocket door, but it's got chalkboard paint on there, so I can make some notes or write things on there if I need to. On this side, we've got about a 10 or 11 cubic foot fridge, just a kind of a regular apartment sized fridge. Freezer on bottom, refrigerator on top. Over here I've got a washer dryer combo. I haven't gotten the chance to use that yet, but this is a vented style washer dryer, so it's a lot faster than your washer dryer that's condensing the water out. But above that, I've got some storage space that will eventually, I'll put some sort of container up there for some folded clothes and stuff. Over here, got the microwave and convection oven combo and a stove. Underneath the stove is a fairly sizable storage space in there. Initially I was going to have a stove with an oven, but it was going to come down too far and was going to hit the fender well, so I couldn't use that And so that was the compromise of the convection oven. But down here, I've got quite a few drawers going all the way down. The drawers were extra storage space that I couldn't get because of the fender wells. So those go back to the fender wells. Typically there wouldn't be drawers down there, but that was some added space that I could use. Got full-size sink over here and granite countertops. And up on the light there, it's just a LED panel light. Didn't want to sacrifice headspace, but I also wanted a very sizable, good light for the kitchen. That's the same light that's in the bathroom. So it's a little hard to see the dimensions from this angle, but the loft, the base of the loft is at 6'4", and you've got about 4 feet of space between the cabinets there. So a pretty significant amount of space there, intentionally done that way so that I would be able to have my ladder here, stick the ladder up, and still have space to walk around if I need to. So real quickly here, I'll show you some pictures of the cabinets so you can get an idea of what the inside of the cabinets are without me having to go through each and every one of them. Alright everyone, so before I move into the living room area and show you all that, I wanted to kind of finish off the kitchen area here with the fold down table. I will eventually, probably, don't hold me to it, but I'll eventually, more than likely, I will put some shelving in here. It's about 2 or 3 inches of space there, so I probably hold some utensils or miscellaneous kitchen goods in that. And the question that I get asked all the time when people come into the tiny house is, how do you get up to the loft? Got the ladder right here. Not exactly sure how they missed it. I suppose they come in the door and look that way and don't see what's right in front of them. But it is kind of funny to get the question. But the loft ladder here is pretty lightweight. It's not terrible. It does have the hand cutouts here to make it a little lighter and easier to carry. It wasn't the optimum choice. I initially wanted some stairs, but it's kind of a give or take. I didn't want to lose the countertop space here or block out the window. But yeah, the ladder just goes up there like that, and still gives me enough space here to walk through fairly easily. That about sums up the kitchen. So we'll put the ladder back and then we'll start with the living room. Okay, so we're here in the living room. I'll go ahead and start with what the chair couch situation will be. Currently, I've just got this one IKEA chair here. That's mostly for the purposes of taking it to shows like the Tiny House Jamboree. Just having more than this would take up too much room. So currently it's just this. I do have a second chair that I'm considering putting right here next to it. But we'll have to see. There's enough space that I could probably get a small love seat in here. Eventually that's probably what I'll end up doing. Just making it a little bit more comfortable in here than having the chair. But behind here, I'll go ahead and go to this. This is my going to be hanging clothes storage area. Right now, it's just got shelving in there. Eventually I'll take this out though and have that for hanging clothes and also some computer equipment over there in the corner because this is a false door here. And then down underneath here is just a flip up door panel, but it houses the freshwater storage tank. So I've got, I believe it's 40 something gallons. I forget right now, but it's got a 12 volt pump. So I can run it off the 12 volt battery even when I'm not connected to power. Okay, so here we've got the other side of the living room. It's kind of hard to video in a tiny house because you can't get the best viewing angle. And even in this one, which is a fairly sizable tiny house. So I have some respect for those people who can do such a good job videoing tiny houses. But with that stated, this is the TV cabinet. The TV will lift up out of here, which I would do for you, but I've got recording equipment here, so I don't want to move that. I'm kind of lazy and don't want to do that right now. So just know that the TV comes up out of that. Here I've got my steps with some storage in them. Can't have too much storage in a tiny house, so that was kind of a good, unique way to get it in there and still have a nice, easy way to get up into this loft. Okay, so I figured I'd make quick mention of the light switches here before I went up into the loft. The two light switches on top are just the living room lights and the living room fan, but the two there on bottom are slightly retrofitted there, as you can see, but those control the outdoor porch light and the lights that go all the way around the house as yard lights. Okay, so I'm up here in the loft now, and I was trying to get a good angle so that you could really see how tall the loft is. It's about 6'1" or so over here. I'm 6'2", so I've got to duck just a little bit in order to not hit the ceiling. But most people will be able to get up here. And in designing the loft, I put the slope on the roof here, and the pitch angle changes right past the steps. So it's easy to get up the steps and have that extra about 6-8 inches. I figured I'd go ahead and mention this first because it's the most probably unusual thing about the loft is this here. So I've got a display port cord. Eventually I'll have it tied up a little nicer than just poking out of the wall there. But that goes down to my TV, so I can have a computer up here, connect it, and then send the picture down to the TV. And kind of going along with the whole computer tech stuff, I've got multiple Cat 5 and Cat 6 cables here. I've got a Cat 5 cable for the internet, and then a Cat 6 cable, two Cat 6 cables here that go down into the closed closet where they'll have the computer equipment, because eventually I would like to put a server down there, so that will get all the information from the computer to the server. And then so sort of going along with all of that, I've got a ton of power outlets in that tiny house. I've got 4 up here in the loft and a lot everywhere else, so that was a pain during sheetrocking. But I'm glad I went ahead and did it. I won't be short of any wall outlets anytime soon. For a computer, I'll have a desk up here. I'll have a desk going across, probably a folding desk. Not exactly sure what I want to do here yet, but I'll have something here, and I'll put my computer monitors up where the picture is now. But I'll have to figure all that out sooner or later, so that'll be in future videos. And on that note, make sure to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all those updates, or you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Living Large and Tiny Living. Stay up to date there as well. That about sums it up. I suppose that's most of the tiny house. You can ask your questions. There's not much I didn't mention. I figured some of the stuff you probably already knew from past videos, like the AC mini split over there. You kind of had somewhat of an idea. So if you've got any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll try and answer them. But that's about it for time being. So I'll catch you on the next video.